Hello and welcome back to another exciting episode of Lock Daddy commentating Magic the Gathering, yo. What we have today is the Star City Games Modern Open Indianapolis. Just a little preface to this. I've been hearing a lot about the Emery Paradoxical Outcome deck, which is kind of an offshoot of the Urza Thopter Foundry deck / Urza Paradoxical Outcome deck. But apparently there's a new refined version that doesn't even need Urza. It's just faster and better. Like, personally, I think this deck is just... I think Modern Horizons has made a lot of fatal mistakes, and I think this is what was a lot of people's fears when Modern Horizons came out. There's just a lot of broken cards that are warping the format tremendously. Not just Modern, but Legacy also. Like, Wrenn and 6 is warping Legacy, like, hardcore. It's narrowing the format to, like, 3 decks. Modern is completely narrowed by Urza. And, actually, the Astrolab card, the one snow-covered land to play, draw a card off of it, and then you can pay 1 colorless mana to produce a mana of any color. This card is actually pretty broken. Like, this card lets you bypass, Blood Moon, playing a 5-color deck without restrictions, using a colorless artifact. It lets you play basic lands, so you basically get to avoid pretty much all the hate that there is for 5-color decks, because you have Arcanist Astrolab, or I think that's what it's called. It's something Astrolab. I think it's Arcanist Astrolab. And Mox Opal. So they have 8 ways to produce any color mana in the deck. Okay, that's absurd. For super cheap, Mox Opal costs 0 and Astrolab costs 1. And Astrolab replaces itself. So it's like, it's not even like if you destroy their Astrolab, you're 2-for-1ing yourself at that point. Like, they got a 2-for-1 off you doing that. So it's like, the card's absurd. Like, they should have made that card. The card is, there's a point to there being 5 colors in Magic. You're supposed to be penalized for playing 5 colors if you want to play, and just use every busted card in the game in one deck. No, that's the point of Magic. That this card is incredibly unbalancing, and I really hope they end up. Well, depending on, we have an Urza Outcome game here, so let's get into it. I won't talk anymore about this, but honestly, like, if there's a bunch of Urza Outcome decks in the top 8 here, like, yeah, there it is. The Astrolab itself. Card is busted. Card is way too good. They need to stop printing these 1 and 0 cost artifacts that are like cantripped and they do some other broken thing. It's like, you gotta stop it. You gotta freaking stop it. I mean, this is what spawns these artifact decks that are just unstoppable. Because artifacts cost any color mana. It's like, get out of here. Look, you got Mox Amber. They're playing all the broken, like, free mana, pretty much. And, it's just, yeah. Okay, we got Esper Stoneblade. This is going to be interesting. So he played Stoneforge Mystic. Going to get Batterskull. Yeah, they unbanned Stoneforge, and it's, like, not even good enough right now. Because there's just these fast combo decks that just can't be beat. These artifacts. I mean, this is exactly why Cart Clan Ironworks got banned out. Like, there's just too many good, cheap artifacts in Modern right now. And they just keep making more. Like, he's got Everflowing Chalice, which is free, or he can pay it for 2 and put a counter on it, and it produces a mana. I mean, look at what he can produce 2 mana of any color right now, 3 mana of any color. Or no, he can produce. Okay, the Mox Amber can produce a blue, but look at this. This is turn 2, and he can produce 1, 2, 3, 4 mana, and he's Paradoxical Outcoming already. Oh, wait, is this turn 3? Okay, it's turn 3. Okay, he could be producing 5 mana if he had another land, but Yeah, so Paradoxical Outcome lets you bounce any number of permanents and draw a card for each card you bounce this way. So it's like, yeah. I mean, they're probably just going to end up banning Paradoxical Outcome, but then you like run into the problem where it's just Urza decks then. So it's like Urza's slightly worse than this deck, I'm guessing. And then Emery just came out. Emery lets you, when you play it, it mills you 4, and then she can tap and put an artifact, or then you can cast an artifact from your graveyard. And they're playing Witching Well too, which is also from the new set, which is 1 blue, scry 2, and then you can pay 1 blue, 3 colorless, sacrifice it, draw 2 cards. Yeah. They really need to just stop with these cheap fucking artifacts. They just need to fucking pull it back, R&D. Just stop. Like, do you not realize, like, how broken they are with the Moxes? Like, the original Moxes, how good they are? And then people have wanted Mox Opal to be banned for years. Like, I mean, the card is pretty broken. And look at our opponent. He's just like, oh, well, I got my Stoneforge Mystic and I got my Batter Skull. You've got, like, what, 8 permanents on the battlefield. And I think this deck wins off of Sai. I don't know what the actual, it's probably, oh yeah, he's using Saheeli also. So it's Saheeli and Sai, and they just make a million, like, tokens, basically, and just kill you with them. Not a million. It's not an infinite combo deck. They just make, like, you know, 20 1/1s. And then they've got all these other cards to deal with everything. Like, they've got Engineered Explosives, which they can produce anywhere from 1 to 5 different colors for. So they can blow up anything 1 to 5 cost pretty easily. I'm pretty sure it plays Assassin's Trophies because they can. Why not? It's another catch-all that they have no problem casting because they have the 4 Astrolabs and the 4 Mox Opals. So, and like for their lands, they're playing like basic snow-covered islands. So really, like, no hate cards that attack like land base affects them. Like Choke, okay, Choke. You can play Choke against them, and yeah, they won't be able to untap their basic islands, but they'll still have plenty of other mana from artifact sources, and they have other, I'm pretty sure they have other color basics in the deck. Or maybe not. This one might just have islands in it. But I know, like, Urza will play, like, basic swamps and basic, like, a basic plains, I think. No, not plains. Basic mountain, maybe? Because I know they, don't they play, like, the deal 4 with Metalcraft? The red spell. But yeah, they have so many options because they just have access to, like, every color of mana. Yeah, it looks like they just play basic islands in this deck because this deck is just solely for the combo. Yeah, really the only thing that, like, hurts this deck is, like, Kataki, War's Wage, which makes artifacts have an upkeep cost where you have to sacrifice them, or like even Stony Silence doesn't hurt this deck because all it does is shut off, like, their Mox Ambers and Mox Opals and Astrolabs. They still can do their little paradoxical outcome combo because it's just bouncing and replaying artifacts, which Stony Silence has no effect on. I mean, Stony Silence I would still board in against this deck, but it's not going to stop them. Like, it's not going to serve the purpose of a Silver Bullet sideboard card like you would expect it to in this kind of matchup against this kind of deck. Like, it stopped Cart Clan Ironworks in its tracks. Like, Cart Clan Ironworks could not function through a Stony Silence. This deck can still win through it. And even, like, artifact removal, like, is not that good against this deck because it's got 0 cost, 1 cost. Psi is 3 cost. So, like, Engineered Explosive, it's not that great against this deck. It really isn't. I mean, you can do it on 0 and, like, kill all their Thopters and, like, kill their Chalices and kill their, you know, Opals and stuff. But they've still got Psi out. They've still got... Or they can, like, Paradoxical in response, too, because it's an instant speed. I'm pretty sure. Hurkyl's Recall obviously will do nothing to them, except for like kill their tokens. I mean, that's just like the problem with these decks that just dirtle. Because all this deck does is just dirtle through cards like Cart Clan Ironworks and just get a benefit from it in the form of tokens. Honestly, even a card like Shatterstorm, yeah, he's just like quitting. Like, what can you do? Like, what can you do against this deck? Like, even with sideboard cards, like, it's like hand destruction. Unless you're getting like their Psi or their Saheeli, like, what are you gonna do? Like, one target, you know, single target artifact destruction, or even double target artifact destruction. Like, what are you actually doing? You're killing 2 of their artifacts? Okay, they don't care. Let's go to sideboard. Alright, so Urza Outcome's going to bring in, what, probably 4 Thoughtseize. Teferi Time Raveler seems good. Maybe some Counter Magic, Mystical Dispute, Disdainful Stroke. I mean, I'm sure I don't know if Esper's what's this guy's version of this deck is, if it's super, like, control oriented. I didn't see a single counterspell during that match, so maybe he brings in for, you know, I don't know what he's running in Esper Stoneblade. I don't know if it's like a straight up just like mid-range deck with value from like the Stoneforge, but he's probably going to bring in 4 Thoughtseize, maybe 2 Mystical Dispute, Teferi, if he thinks he's going to run into counter magic, and maybe 2 Disdainful Strokes. I'm not sure. Not really familiar with this newer version of Esper. And then Esper's going to bring in 4 Mystical Disputes, 2 Surgicals to try to get the win conditions. If you get Saheeli and Psi out of their decks, you pretty much win because they have no way to win. But Supreme Verdict maybe comes in. I don't know if he needs to take out something that's not really good in this matchup. Disdainful Stroke's useless. Oh, Disdainful Stroke hits Outcome, so maybe those do come in. Maybe he brings in those 9 cards. Yeah, sure. Maybe Supreme Verdict if he has cards that are dead cards, just to like clear the board so he doesn't die 1 turn. It pretty much only buys you like 1 turn, these board wipes, because they typically can just like produce just as many. They'll play 1 Paradoxical Outcome and then they'll have 10 more tokens like the next turn. Alright, game 2. Alright, so we got nothing going on for Esper for the first 2 turns. Urza plays Emery. Astrolabe into Emery. Alright, Fatal Pushes are actually not bad against this deck. You could kill Sai and Emery, which they're probably playing 4 of each, so not terrible. You can't hit Saheeli with it, but nice. Only got 2 lands. That's a bummer. Alright, he's got to counter this Sai or do something. What was that card? Oh, that was Mystical Dispersal. Yeah, that card's great. Counters it. Oh, it looks like he's playing Urza too. Of course it's playing Urza too. Why not? Why not? Yeah, Mystical Dispute is super good. Only costs 1, countering a blue spell. Alright, so Esper's just holding back. I don't know what's in his hand. Alright, he's going to try a Paradoxical Outcome. Alright, is he going to hit Sai with this? Oh no, he's hitting Paradoxical Outcome. Okay, that's good. Nexus of Fate. Yeah, the deck plays Nexus of Fate. I forgot about that. Because why not? Make a million Thopters, take another turn, win. Or was he not even playing for Paradoxical Outcome? Maybe Urza's a sideboard card in this deck. I don't know. Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't in the sideboard. He must be playing like a couple Urza's main deck. Okay, looks like he's got Cryptic in his hand. So he's gonna counter the Emery. A wise decision. And then he's gonna counter it with Mystical Dispute. I mean, this deck doesn't even need Paradoxical Outcome to win. You got Emery, you got a million artifacts. Like, he's just going to make a bunch of tokens anyways. Like, he's not going to make as many tokens as explosively, but... Alright, that's a new card. That's the, I forgot the name of that card, but it either counters a spell of cost less than the number of cards in your opponent's graveyard, or it kills a creature with cards with casting cost less than the cards in their graveyard. It's really strong for 1 black and 1 blue. You can either kill a creature that's already been cast or counter any spell. Like, it's really good. Drown in the Lock. Less than or equal to the number of cards in its controller graveyard, yeah. That's so good. Alright, tries to play Urza. Cryptic Commanded. Counter draw. Yeah, Astrolab is just disgusting. It kind of helps this deck work. Like, without Astrolab, this deck would definitely be a lot worse than it is. So he targeted Urza. Oh, so I guess the deck does have 4 Urza in it. Okay. Maybe it's got less size. Maybe it's got like 3 size, 3 Sahelias or something like that. Okay, so I was wrong. Urza's still super big in this deck, I guess. I guess his version is called Urza Outcome. I guess there's versions called Emery Outcome where they don't play Urza. Maybe they only... I don't know. all the versions of this deck, including the Thopter Foundry version, are all very similar. They all run like the same, like 30 cards, like the same 30 artifacts, except for like Sword of the Meek and Thopter Foundry, and like then like their creatures may be a little slightly different because they all run Sai also, and it's seemingly most of them run Urza. Not all of them run Saheeli because that's more of the outcome one, and then Paradoxical Outcome's not run in the one version of Urza, the Thopter Foundry version. But all three decks are very similar in kind of how they function. Except one, the Thopter Foundry one is an infinite combo, so you get infinite tokens when you have Urza, Sword of the Meek, and Thopter Foundry out. You gain infinite life and you make infinite Thopters. Alright, well, I mean, he's systematically taking them apart. Getting in there little by little, chipping away his life. Keeping him off his payoff cards. And the fact that Emery only costs 1 blue mana, like every time. So busted. Why do they make that card? Seriously. I just do not understand Magic R&D sometimes. Do not fucking understand. They just do not make cards for Eternal formats. They just don't even like look or care about them. They don't think about them at all. They're just like, oh, will this card be cool in Standard? No, the card's probably going to be dog shit in Standard, to be honest. Like, Emery seems pretty unplayable in Standard. Yet it's busted in Modern. Alright, Esper got game 2. That's cool. It only took 25 minutes. Alright, game 3. Astrolab. In comes the Thoughtseize. Is that 2 Snappies, Mystical Dispute, and Drown in the Loch? Probably going to take the Drown in the Loch. Maybe not. Actually, he might just take Snapcaster here. Let's get the guaranteed 2 for 1. Oh, he's taking Dispersal. Okay. Probably because he wants to play a spell this turn, maybe? Oh, he doesn't. Okay. Well, now he can snap and use it, so... He just drew a 3rd Snapcaster. Gross. I guess Mystical Dispute might be a good pick. It's just 1 less counterspell he has to worry about, but... I mean, at some point he's going to have extra mana, so... He doesn't have to worry about paying that 3 extra? I don't know. I think I would have taken Snapcaster there if I were him. Just because you're playing a long game anyway. So knowing that you're playing a long game, take away their 2 for 1s. Because, I mean, like right now, he's got 5 mana. So he could play Emery and have it not be countered by Dispersal right now. Or Dispute. I mean, he's going to run this into a counterspell here. Urza's going to get Mystical Disputed. Yeah, I don't really know what his line of thinking is. Obviously, he's going to Snap Dispute it. Oh, he's got a Dispute of his own. Okay. Now it makes sense why he did that. It was so he could trick out Urza. And now he's got Paradoxical Outcome. But now the Drown in the Loch is live, so he can counter that Paradoxical Outcome. And he's got a Snap to get it back, so he's got like at least 2 counter spells incoming that can counter anything. Or he's just going to kill it. Okay. And maybe he was just planning on, like, using the Urza. Like, just using him every turn, just building up his board. That's probably what he was going for. But he knew he had Drown in the Loch, so... Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I guess it gives him a chance to Paradoxical Outcome now. If Esper had a counter there, it pretty much would have been Esper's game. Like, he would have been on empty. But now he gets to refill his whole hand. Alright, getting in. But yeah, now he's got that giant token out from Urza. Alright, he's gonna kill the token now. He has to. Thing's gigantic. What is it, a 6/6? Yeah. I wonder what he named with Pithing Needle. Stoneforge Mystic, probably, I guess. Alright, so he's got a Psymaster Thopterus now. He's got a Thopter. Esper's going to be hard pressed to win this fight. He's pretty low on cards too. He needs to kill Psy. I don't know what's in his hand. That was a full art card. Is that a negate? Yeah, that's the thing about this deck is just like every card, every like power card they play, which is like all the cards that aren't their artifacts, basically, you have to counter or you have to kill immediately or they just take over the game. Like, that's just how the deck's set up. Like, he couldn't get rid of the Psy, and now it's just going to kill him. And now it's Fairies in play, so he can't counter anything now. Yeah, I think Urza's going to win this one. He's got Saheeli in hand. Like, playing just a single Paradoxical Outcome just puts you so far ahead. You just draw, like, an absurd amount of cards off of it for 4 mana. It's definitely the one card you want to, like, counter and slash Surgical Extract if you can. Yeah, it's over. Deck is busted. Alright, round number 2. Please don't be another Mystic Sultai. Okay. Alright, we got Bogles versus Sultai. Okay. Sam Black. What's up, dude? Been a minute. Alright, we got the Bogle. And Hyena Umbra. And Rancor. Let's get in there. What is that, 4 damage? Yeah, he has 0 cards in his graveyard, so he can't play Drown in the Loch. Rough. But it has hexproof, so he can't kill it anyways, but... Yeah, Bogles is just one of those decks where you have to have specific cards to deal with it. Alright, sideboard time. Leyline of Sanctity. That actually might come in. That makes it so he can't get targeted by, like, sacrifice effect spells unless it's like Liliana. So maybe the 4th ley lines come in. Damping Sphere is for like Tron and like Urza. Path to Exile? Nah. Declaimer. I don't know what Declaimer does. Is that a new card? And then Unravel the Ether. I don't know what that does either. One or more of those might come in. And then Sultai's going to bring in... I'm sure he's going to bring in 2 Plague Engineers because it's got Death Touch and it's one way to remove one of those Hexproofers. So the two Plague Engineers, 2 Engineering Explosives. Those are great against Bogle decks because it doesn't target. Surgical Extraction? Is that any good? Probably not. Force Negation? Maybe. That's probably it. Just like those 5 cards. Oko. Dude, Oko. Oko's gonna be a beast. 3-color planeswalker, or 3-drop planeswalkers, man. Spell Snare is not very good against this deck either. You can't counter their 1-drops, so... Alright, game number 2. Looks like Sam Black's mulliganing. He needs to have interaction. He has to have some way to like kill their hexproofer. A lot of times Bogles will just keep like a 1 hexproofer hand, a lot like Infect. It's a lot like Infect. Oh, he's gonna mulligan too. So if you can just take care of their first threat, a lot of times you'll just like win off that. Depending if they draw out of it or not, but they're very reliant on having the hexproof creature. I mean, that's how they win. So he's got Glade Cover Scout. I don't know if he has another one. I know he's got Slippery Bogle and Glade Cover, so he's got multiples. That crispy Beta Island. I respect that. Although I like the blue island better, or the lighter blue island better. Picture. Get in there for 4. It's like the exact same cards he had in game 1. He really needs an Engineered Explosives here. Or maybe a Liliana if he's got them. Drown in the Loch is not going to do it. Yeah, his hand does not look very good against Bogles. He's got a spell snare too, which isn't great. Although he can counter the, if he's going to play the crown here, he can counter it, which is good. Yeah, he's going to 100% counter this, yeah. Or Daybreak Coronet, not crown. Coronet. It's basically a crown. Fancier word for crown. Alright, if he can get an EE, he can come back into this game. Or a Lily. Lily would be great. I don't know if he plays Lily main deck. This is a fairly newish, like Sultai is not really a color combo you see in Modern or Legacy really, but maybe because of Oko, which is green blue, you might start seeing green blue or Sultai colors, or Simic for that matter. Well, he's got Cryptic Command. That'll buy him like one turn. Okay, he's got another Daybreak Coronet. Gross. Yeah, he's gonna Cryptic this. Probably counter draw. Maybe counter tap. I don't know if he's feeling particularly in danger at 10 life. It'll still put him down to 6 this turn if he attacks. Oh no, he's just gonna counter it. Okay. Snap, snare. Yeah, there's no real point to block here. You're just gaining 1 life, basically. Okay, now Liliana's not going to work. Actually, not true. He could kill the Dryad Arbor with the Drown in the Lock and then play Liliana and kill the Bogle. Already found another Snapcaster, which can actually team block the Bogle. Maybe he's got something. Maybe he's got something going on here. I'm gonna put the op back on top. Okay. Oh, but he found a path to exile. That double block plan's not gonna work. Although he can counter it, actually. Oh, he's gonna bounce the Hyena Umbra. Okay. Okay, unfortunately, because of that, he's not going to be able to kill the Bogle. But he's still decent. He's still got 6 life. He's not dead on the next swing if he doesn't have another enchantment to put on it. Probably gonna put Cryptic back on the top here. I forgot that those count as islands, so you can search for them with fetch lands, the new monasteries or sanctuaries. That's crazy. Okay, with that trigger on the stack, he's going to opt because obviously he wants to card fix the card underneath it before, because he's going to 100% take the Cryptic command. It's the mark of a pro Magic player right there. Sequencing it perfectly. Gonna pass it back. Okay, he's got what, 2 Cryptics in hand? No, he's got an opt, a Cryptic, drown in the lock. Yeah. Is that a Snapcaster? Yeah, Snapcaster. Okay, I think he's just on the plan of, like, I need to find engineer explosives or some way to remove this Bogle. He can't keep dealing with just the single enchantment bouncing. Assassin's Trophy is not going to do it. He's probably going to tap all his creatures and draw. Yep. Was that Deprive? Hell yeah. Counterspell, baby. Hard counterspell. Well, you have to bounce a land, but still. 2 blue. Yeah, he's got a lot of counter magic that he can't really do a lot with right now. Yeah, he really needs engineered explosives to win. I think he's just dead here. I don't know, he can snap Cryptic, okay. He's got one more turn. He has got to find an answer in this next turn or it's over. Tap the team and draw. Looking for an EE. Engineered explosives. Okay, Cryptic. That buys him another turn. I've had games like these too, where you're just like, Cryptic's the only thing keeping you alive. Oh, he plays the Bogle. Gets a little impatient. He probably should have just kept that Bogle in his hand. There's no reason to play it. Now Engineered Explosives is going to kill that too, if he gets one. Alright, last draw here. Needs Cryptic or Engineered Explosives. Okay, Snapcaster. That, of course, that lets him cast Cryptic too. He's still in it. Hanging on by the... Hanging on by a thread. Hanging on by the seat of his pants. Or he's going to deprive that. That was weird. So since he chose to counter the that enchantment, he couldn't snap Cryptic, so now he's got to trade both Snapcasters for just the blocks. It's interesting. I don't know why he played it that way. Oh, deprive. He brought back the Sanctuary, so he can get the Cryptic Command back again. Does he have a way to draw it though? He drew another snap. Is that Pulse of Marasa? Okay. Okay. He's still in it. Alright, he can gain 6 life here and get a creature back, so I assume Snapcaster comes back to his hand. And then he takes 5, goes back to 2. He's probably targeting Opt again. This is a crazy game, gotta say. Alright, well now the Bogle player is all in. Oh, he targeted Thought Scour, okay. Or he still hasn't found E. But if he plays Engineered here, he basically wins. Like, he should have kept that Glade cover in his hand. Oh, that's the new card. What's that called? Into the Something. It costs 7. It costs 7 unless your opponent has 7 or more cards in their graveyard, I believe. And it's draw 4 cards. Crazy good. 4 for 1, baby. Into the Story, yeah. Thank you, Pochi-san. Pochi-san! Yeah, really, really strong card. I could see that as like a one-of in a lot of control decks. Just a straight up 4 for 1. That can just like straight up win you the game, like a 4 for 1. I kind of want to put one of those into my red-blue Breach Moon deck. I think I might. I think I just might. Alright, he's replicating the Ethereal Armor, which is the biggest threat in terms of enchantment. So now the Bogle's just a 3/3. So he's taking, what, 5 here? Going to 1? He still hasn't found Engineered Explosives. He's got 2 of them in there. Well, he's got another draw 4. I think he's all or nothing in it right here. It has to be EE or bust. Or no, he's oh, he's Pulse of Marauding, okay. Getting a land back. Okay. I don't think he has any creatures left in the graveyard. Alright, he's back up to 7 life. Out of harm's way again. And he can always chump block the Bogle. He's got counter magic for whatever enchantment he wants to play on his turn, so, like, he's pretty safe right now. He's 100% safe, actually. Yeah, he's got several... Like, he's not... The Bogle's player is not casting a spell from here on out. He just needs to find... If he doesn't find the EE, he has to find it, like, within the next couple turns. But he's also got Cryptic. Actually, I think Sam Black's probably just going to win this game now. I think he's rounded the corner. He's delayed him long enough that his hand is just full of answers. Yeah, he's just going to straight up counter everything that he plays from here on out. Okay, I think how Spider Umbra works also against EE is if he sacrifices... I don't know if it dies at the same time as Slippery Bogle dies. I don't know if you can sacrifice the Spider Umbra in response to an Engineered Explosives going off. I think it might just kill both things, regardless. That was actually pretty risky. If he had flipped over Engineered Explosives there, it would have been bad. Yeah, he's just going to save his life total some more. Go down to 4. Chump block the biggest guy, which is a 3/3. Tap the team and bounce the Sanctuary. I like it. He can just do this infinitely, right? Yeah, he can just keep putting the Cryptic Command back on the top. This new Sanctuary land is very, very powerful. Okay, he found the E. Yeah, this game's over. I mean, I think he rounded the corner when he played Into the Story the first time. He just had a handful of cards and things to do. Yeah, Mystic Sanctuary, man, this card is super good. I need to put this card into my my Blood Moon deck, or my Breach Moon. At least a 1 of or 2 of. Okay, so the Spider Umbra does save it. Okay, you can use it. I wasn't sure on that one. And he's just like, I'm just gonna kill your Dryad Arbor at this point. Leave you with your 1/1 Bogle. Alright, the draw 4 is back on the top. He's drawn so many cards. He's actually only got like probably like 15 cards left in his deck. Dude, draw 4 for 4 mana is so fucking strong. Holy shit, this card's strong. And being able to get it back with Sanctuary. Oh my god. This is just disgusting. Look at this. Look at what's happening. I'm literally disgusted. Okay, now he's just going to choose Bogle with Plug Engineer. Okay, yeah. Now he's just going to kill him in 6 turns with Plug Engineer. This deck is super dirtily controlled. This is like ultimate dirtle control. He's got like, dude, he doesn't even have man lands. Like, he doesn't even have Creeping Tar Pit. Like, maybe he's got 1 Creeping Tar Pit in there, but this deck's definitely... I guess what that's why this deck's called Mystic Soul Ties, because it's got 4 Mystic Sanctuaries in it. Boom, EE. Gross. Mystic Soul Tie, there it is, boys and girls. The ultimate recursion and card draw deck. Alright, game 3. Shit, I went for too far forward. Alright, they're gonna have to play this fast. They're gonna be lightning speed. Lightning round. Let's go. 9 minutes left. 9.5 minutes. Although that game was really good. I mean, that game was fun to watch, so... Alright, here we go. Turn 1 Bogle. Game 3. Mr. Spider Umbra. Oh, he has Spirit Link in the deck? That's interesting. It's probably just like a one-of. Yeah, that's getting countered. Oh, so he's getting rid of the Umbra as he's casting the Coronet, so it's... Snap has 4 snaps as win condition? Yeah, basically. I haven't seen a man land in his deck. He might have like 1 Creeping Tar Pit, I don't know. But yeah, it looks like it's just the Snapcaster Mages, I don't know. Or maybe he can mill his opponent out, I'm not sure. Because he can probably keep putting... Oh, he can keep putting... What's it called? The mill 2 draw card back on top. It has no man lands. No, not Pulse of Marasa, Thought Scour. He can probably mill his opponent by Thought Scouring them over and over again. I don't know. Maybe. Seems like it's possible. Okay, he's got Spirit Mantle. What else does Spirit Mantle give? Is it just +2/+2? I don't remember what that card does. Or is it +1/+2? I don't remember. Look up Spirit Mantle real quick on my handy dandy little phone. Oh, protection from crits. Protection from creatures. Okay. +1/+1 and protection from creatures. Alright, Pulse Marasa. He's got Plague Engineer too, but those are sideboard cards, so I guess that's a win condition also, but it's a sideboard. I mean, Sam's not going to win this one. The only chance he has is to get a tie at this point. He's not going to do 31 damage with the amount of time left. So he's just playing for a draw at this point. Yeah, I think this Mystic Sultai deck is just a little bit too dirtily. I think it's a little bit... has a little bit too lack of win conditions. I feel like he should have some manlands in there. I think that's just a bad choice not to have them. Yeah, playing for a draw is the main theme of this deck. Seems like it. I mean, that last game he barely won, and it took like, what, 30 minutes? Yeah, I feel like he should have Creeping Tar Pits in there. Well, maybe he can win. He's got a faster clock now. Maybe he does win this game. I mean, his opponent has to be a good sport about it and like pass his turn really quickly every time. If he takes any time on his turn, I mean, Sam's not going to win. Oh, he's got a third Snapcaster, or a second Snapcaster. Like, what happens if Snapcaster gets surgical extracted, though? Does he just, like, lose? I guess he can try to mill them out with Thought Scour. Got 3 or 4 draws, and then he just, like, continues playing it regardless. He's like, whatever. Yeah, Sam, you should be thankful that his opponent was a good sport about that. You could have easily, like, taken time on your turns and just made it go to time. I mean, Sam did take most of the time that game. If that were a Moto game, he would have definitely lost that matchup. He would have run out of time. 100%. Because he definitely took more than 25 minutes. Alright, sweet. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Round 3. What do we got? I think I saw Burn and Kelthus. Or Kethis. Kethis. Is that bird that makes flying tokens? Okay, we got turn 1 Goblin Guide from our Burn player. Kethis combo. Is this just like another version of the Urza deck? Oh, legendary creature lets you cast legendary spells from the graveyard. Oh, okay. Oh, it mills them? And then it plays Psy, of course, too. And Mox Opal. Yeah, they really need to probably ban Mox Opal. I think Mox Opal just needs to go now. Like, they're just making... There's too many good, cheap artifacts. Mox Opal might be the ban that they need to do. And then, did you see that? You guys see that they moved up the bans, like, faster? I know that's for Standard. They want to get Fields of the Dead out of Standard, because that card's just fucking ridiculously good. But maybe they're going to ban Mox Opal. That wouldn't surprise me at all if they ban Fields of the Dead from Standard and Mox Opal from Modern in the next bannings. Would not surprise me at all. Because look how many different artifact decks there are now. I mean, like, Cart Clan Ironworks got banned out, but I think it's just time to ban Mox Opal. It kind of just enables these absurd, like, combo decks to go even faster. So is this Kethis combo infinite? It must let him, like... what does it let you keep... Wait, legendary spells. Are artifacts count as legendary spells? No, they don't, do they? They actually have to have legendary in the title, right? So it must make some legendary artifact cost 0, so you can keep, like, playing it and grinding them infinitely. Oh, it's that Thopter thing. Oh yeah, it's the one drop rare Thopter. That thing's legendary, isn't it? Oh my god, why? Why? Oh yeah, Mox Ambers are too, yeah. And so are Mox Opals, right? And that Thopter. There's that legendary Thopter. So yeah, there's 12 copies of this of like a legendary card that goes infinite with Grinding Station. Oh, it's not infinite? Are you sure? Because it sacrifices the artifact with Grinding Station, puts it into your graveyard, and then the Kelthus lets you play it from your graveyard, right? So you just keep doing that infinitely, and they just keep milling. You have to exile a legendary to be able to play from graveyard? Oh, okay. I get what you mean. So you can play all of them from the graveyard at once, basically, after you exile one. So it's not infinite, but it gets the job done. Okay, I get it. Legendary spells cost one less to cast. Exile two legendary cards from your graveyard until end of turn. Each legendary card in your graveyard gains. You may play this card from your graveyard. Okay. Sounds good. And again, probably 30 cards in this deck are the same as the Urza decks and the outcome decks, the Emery outcome decks. To tell you there's a problem if there's 3 very similar decks with combos that play 30 of the same cards ish. Probably 25 of the same cards each. 24, something like that. Like they all run 4 Urza Baubles, 4 Mox Opal, 4 Mox Amber, 4 Astrolabs. Is that all? Oh yeah, I'm sure it is really strong. Like, these artifacts are just too good. Oh yeah, they're not vulnerable to anything. They don't. None of these artifact decks really have a silver bullet card. Oh, they all play 4 side too, so that's 20 cards in common with all of these decks. That's just insane. They need to like ban something out of these. Probably, I'm guessing Mox Opal is the card that's going to get banned. It's just the logical choice. People have said they've wanted it banned for years now. Alright, well, he's got Eidolon in play, which is actually... Eidolon of the Great Revel might be the best card against all of these artifact decks, actually. It just makes it so they can't play a bunch of artifacts in their turn. So... they just lose from Eidolon. Actually, Thalia is really strong against these decks, too. Those seem like the best counter cards to these decks, is Eidolon and Thalia. Alright, so Burn gets it. Sideboard time. Burn's going to bring in, what? 2 Smash to Smithereens. 1 Wear and Tear. Skullcrack. I think he might bring in Skullcracks just because he thinks, obviously, that the other players got sideboard cards to deal with burn. Like some kind of life game. And he does. He has 4 Oko. Dude, fucking Oko. Oko is going to be great in Modern too, I guarantee. Card's already worth, like, what, like 20 bucks? So yeah, he's probably just going to bring in 2 Skullcrack, 2 Smash, 1 Wear and Tear. And then Kethis is going to bring in probably 4 Oko, 3 Collective Brutality. That's kind of the package right there. Yeah, that's the package right there for burn. He might bring in like 1 Engineered Explosives. I don't know. I think the card's like so-so versus burn. I think it can be good if they have like, you know, a couple 1-drops. It can get you out of a sticky situation at the beginning. But all around, EE is not the greatest thing against burn. You could actually, it kills Eidolon, so actually he needs to bring in stuff for it to kill Eidolon. So he's going to bring in the Fatal Pushes too, obviously. The 3 Fatal Pushes in his sideboard, and probably at least 1 EE. Because he has to get rid of the Eidolon if it comes out. Alright, he's got Oko and Fatal Push. That's obviously a keeper. It plays Chromatic Star also. Probably because it's playing 5 colors. Or close to, maybe 4 colors. Everything but white. I guess it's not playing blue. Maybe, or yeah, it is. Oko's blue. Yeah, it's probably playing 4 colors. Alright, Gobbo Guide. So it's got Jace, so he can mill himself and win. That Jace is funny. Is it Wielder of Mysteries, Jace? I can't remember his name. Oh, he doesn't have a second land. Wrecked. Ooh, Harsh Mentor, yes. That's every time you activate an ability, you take 2 damage, I believe. Is it non-creature ability? I think it's just any ability of an artifact, creature, or land. Okay, yeah. This card seems really good. Harsh Mentor. Was that a sideboard card? I totally overlooked that. I totally forgot about this card. Maybe he's playing that main deck. Was that in his sideboard? I have to look at his sideboard again. But I mean, it doesn't penalize them that much because a lot of theirs are mana producing abilities. It gets them on Mishra's Bauble. It gets them on the grinder thing. Chimeric Star is a mana ability, so it's not going to get them on that. I guess it gets Emery. He gets Emery on their ability. Not the greatest card. Eidolon's definitely better, but he probably threw in like maybe 1 or 2 of those just to combat the meta right now, which I can see. Oh, the Trip double Swift Spear Goblin Guide seems good. Well, Kethis is getting pretty mana screwed. But he did choose to keep a 1-land hand. This can happen if you do that. Oh, he brought in Path to Exiles too for Sai. Yeah, I guess it's a good call. He's just going full on interaction. Shut down the combo. Or shut down Sai, which is like his other win condition. Yeah, Shizo, Death Storehouse. Nah. Target legendary creature gains fear until end of turn. Yes. Fear. They like removed the fear term, didn't they? They like started saying like it can only be blocked by black and artifact. And I think they just say it, they just spell it out now. There's no like term for it anymore. They're like, fear is too confusing. We gotta like remove that. We gotta actually like explain what it means. The double corkscrew banana. Okay, Oko's in play. This game would be way different if you were able to play Oko on like turn 2 or 3. Oko is a force to be reckoned with. Look at him. He's got 6 loyalty the turn you put him out. Gross. Yeah, GG. Burn got him. Burn's actually really good right now. I mean, Burn's always good with a meta shakeup. As it was, shook up with, you know, Hogak being banned, etc. Alright, you guys can watch. So I'm gonna go pee real quick. Watch this time-shifted match. back. What we got going on here? Amulet Titan. Dude, this deck also is insanely good now. With the new cards it's gotten from the Throne of Eldraine. It got the green Castle Brabin. I can't remember its name. Something Bryn. Golbryn. Which produces 6 mana with only 5 lands, basically. Or 5 with only 5 mana. And it also got Once Upon a Time, which is a great searching card. Fixer, finds a land or a creature in the top 5 cards. Is free if it's the first spell you cast in the game. Really strong card. And seems to be pretty good against all the Urza and / outcome decks. So they went to time. Oh, he's starting to get zombies. So who won that one? I think that was a draw. Yeah, that was a draw. Anticlimactic. Oh, good old Tron. Grixis Death Shadow versus Mono Green Tron. Alright, let's see it. This can go either way. This matchup's kind of... if the Death Shadow player has hand destruction and they get like their threats out of their hand or they keep them off Tron, they got a pretty fast clock so they can win pretty quickly. But it is on the draw. That is important. So Tron might just run away with it. He might have turn 3 Tron here with Expedition Map. Alright, Stubborn Denial is really good against Tron. He's going to keep that on the top, bottom of the land. Okay, he doesn't have turn 3 Tron, so already looking good for Grixis Death Shadow. Alright, he's gonna have turn 4 Tron. In come the Thoughtseize. He's probably going to take the Worm Coil Engine here. He can counter one of the other Planeswalkers, so... Worm Coil is kind of hard to deal with once it's out. Yep, takes the Worm Coil. And he Thoughtseizes again, takes the 4-drop Karn, boom. And then he's got the counter for the other Karn. Although the counter he's going to need a creature out. He's going to need Ferocity because he's going to have 8 mana when he casts it. I wonder if these players are playing any Once Upon a Times. I might play like 1 or 2 Once Upon a Times in Mono Green Tron. I think it's totally playable. I mean, it gets you a land or a creature. That's the creature side of it's not as good because it only gets you Worm Coil or, you know, maybe Thragtusk after sideboard or the 5/7 green Eldrazi guy. But I still think it's good. Good enough to play at least one or two. Especially if you get to use it turn one. That seems really strong. I mean, it's not as good as Ancient Stirrings, obviously, but I think it might be playable here. Alright, if he has Death Shadow or Gurmag here, he's sitting pretty good. Although he does have to contest with a Oblivion Stone also. Or contend, rather. Alright, he's got Gurmag. I already stubborn denies the Oblivion Stone. Maybe he's got another stubborn denial in hand to take care of the Karn. I mean, he's got to be reluctant about playing Karn here, since he did counter the Eidolon, or he countered the Oblivion Stone. You would think he would save the... Although, if he doesn't counter the Oblivion Stone, that means he doesn't have Ferocity anymore, so... Once he kills the Gurmag, so he might have just been forced to use it there, because it would be a dead card otherwise. So, I mean, I think you just rush out Karn here. Yeah, you just make him have it. Oh, he's got Snappy, though. Boom. Perfect answer. Alright. One turn. Just gotta draw a threat here. Ulamog will do it. That's the thing about Tron is... Don't ever count... Oh, he's playing it! Once Upon a Time. Boom. Oh yeah, you can get Ulamog too, by the way. Once Upon a Time can. So... Once Upon a Time's good, I think. Alright, didn't find it. Go to Sideboard. Okay, so Grixis is going to bring in any interaction he can. He's going to bring in these 3 Disdainful Strokes. Great card versus Tron. Counters pretty much anything they got except for their, you know, low-cost artifacts. He's going to bring in the Duress. He's going to bring in a Braid. I think a Braid comes in here because... you can kill their map, and you can kill their other artifacts and their O-Stone. So these, at least one of Braid's going to come in, I can imagine. Because he's going to take out, like, Fatal Pushes and Lightning Bolt and stuff. So he's going to have a lot of room to, like, bring in some other stuff that's more useful. Spell Snare. Is Spell Snare good against Tron? Not really. They don't really have 2-cost stuff. So I think Spell Snare is a bad idea. So 3 Disdainful Stroke. Probably 2 Braid, 1 Duress. I could even see a Kolaghan's Command coming in because it kills artifacts and it can discard a card from their hand and maybe get a Snapcaster back or some, allow you to counter something else. So maybe like 3 Disdainful, 2 Braid, 1 Duress, 1 Kolaghan's. I can see that. And I think that's exactly, since you're playing what, like 4 bolt, 2 or 3 fatal push, so those are going to come out directly for, yeah, for those 7 cards. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. Orbs of Warding. And then Tron's going to bring in what? Probably a Worm Coil Engine, because it's very, very good against Death Shadow. Actually, that's all for Karn. He's not going to bring those in. He's not going to bring anything in, is he? I think he's just good. He's good to go. Because those are all for Karn to grab, so... Nature's Claim he doesn't need. Leyline he doesn't need. Leyline's just not good enough. Although he might bring in... I mean, Leyline can do some work against Grixis Death Shadow. It makes it so you can't play a Gurmag early, and you can't use Snapcaster, but beyond that it doesn't do anything, really. I think it's mostly in there just for like the Urza decks and you know, decks that heavily rely on the graveyard. Alright, he's got Teamer Battle Rage in hand, and a Braid. And, I think Snapcaster Mage and Death Shadow. Maybe another land. Oh, he's gonna Stubborn Deny him. So obviously he's looking for... Oh, he's looking for lands. He doesn't have another land drop. Gross. So he instinctively sniffed that out. Because he didn't play a land before he cast it. Wow, he Stubborn Denied the Chimeric Star. He could have abraded that. Or Chromatic Star, rather. He's like, I don't want him drawing cards, doing anything. Can we get a sleeve commentary? What about the dragon, the Easter sleeves for Dragon Shield? I like them. They're very, very colorful. I actually like the Halloween ones a lot too. If you guys have seen those ones, it's got the orange background. You got like a witch flying in the air, and then you got like this Death Knight dude riding a black dragon with an axe. It's pretty sick. Alright, he found a land and he's got Sylvan Scrying, so... Oh, he's gonna get Blast Zone. That's a good card. Take care of those 2 Death Shadows. Was he swinging for 8? I think he's at 9 life now. Got the Battle Rage. That'll do it. Exactly 12 damage. Boom. very nice. Tron stumbled a little bit, and he just took advantage of it. I mean, that's what I was saying. This matchup can go in either player's favor. That's why Grixis Death Shadow is such a good deck. It has game against most decks out there. Pretty much every deck out there. Ooh, Elves. Let's go. I think Elves just got 2-0'd by it, though. Unfortunately. Yeah, he got 2-0'd. Bummer. Alright, round 5. Azorius Stoneblade versus Mono Green Tron. Okay, let's go. I'm very curious how these Stoneblade decks are going to be faring in this new meta. I don't think they're going to be that good. Oh, he is 4-0, but you know. So this has got to be a complete control shell around this, right? And then you got probably Manlands and Snaps and Stoneforge as your win conditions. Maybe a Jace the Mind Sculptor or two. And probably some 3-drop to fairies. Maybe some Narset. Alright, well, he's got turn 3 Tron. Notoriously, Tron beats, you know, Azorius control most of the time. It's probably like a 60 or 70% matchup in favor of Tron. Simply because the control deck has to deal with every single threat as it comes out, or they lose. So they're pretty much having to counter every major thing they play. And like if Ulamog hits the battlefield, they have to have exactly, you know, Path to Exile, which typically they board out their Path to Exiles after the first game. So they have to basically just counter Ulamog. Although they probably keep in like a couple paths. I usually keep in, I think, 2 paths against Tron, because you can get Wormcoil with it and you can get Ulamog. But Ulamog still gets his cast trigger. Okay, he mana leaks the Karn Liberated. And see, this is the thing. This guy playing the Azorius Stoneblade deck knows that the reason he loses this matchup is because they don't have a clock. They don't have a clock until late game. So he flashed in that Snapcaster Mage early for no value except for being a 2/1 creature, so he could get a clock on the board. He has to kill him quickly. Like, that's just how this matchup works. Because they will just bury you in I kill you threats, and you have to deal with every single one of them or you die. Alright, Field of Ruin is a very good card against this deck. Or is a very good addition in the arsenal against Tron. It does give you... Oh, he had the mine in his hand. Gross. You chose poorly. Always choose tower. Always. Always tower. Yeah, so now he's got Karn. Probably going to kill his dual land. No, he'll probably just exile a card from his hand, actually. It'll stay alive if he exiles a land. I mean, like, you're taking Wormcoil, there's no choice here, right? Yeah, I mean, a threat is a threat is a threat. That's the only threat in the 5 cards. Yeah, he's gonna kill his land, I'm sure. Yeah. Control is very mana hungry, so he already missed a land drop. Now he's 2 lands behind. being on 2 mana is not where control wants to be. Okay, so he's gonna kill the mine again, I assume. Hopefully he doesn't have the 3rd mine in hand. During his draw step, he's going to do it. Not sure why he's going to do it during the draw step. Versus the upkeep. Oh, takes his Path to Exile out of his hand. Bummer, because he's got a Worm Coil in hand. He's got Karn too, yeah. This one's probably in the books. Golos. He's got a Golos in the sideboard? What? Fucking Golos, bro. That's pretty funny. I mean, it goes and gets him a land, right? It's any land. So he can get a Tron land with it. And it's a 3/5 creature. I mean, they're not going to be able to use the activated ability. Yeah, he's just going to scoop him up. Not much you can do. Alright, sideboard. What we got? On Stoneblade side, we got 2 Stony Silence. Always good against Tron. What else? 2 Disdainful Stroke. Those are going to come in. Mystical Dispute. Maybe? If he can find cards to take out, then he's going to bring in Mystical Dispute for sure. He wants maximum interaction. Okay, Gideon, ally of Zendikar, might come in because that's a faster clock. He's probably going to bring in that. Because that thing swings in for 5 every turn. It's a good clock. Ashiok. Ashiok might come in. You can't search your library. It's kind of slow, but you can't use Map or Sylvan Scrying. So if he keeps him off Tron, maybe. I don't know if this card comes in against Tron. I haven't used this card very much in Modern yet, but people are using it more and more lately, so it might be okay. And then Tron, I think that's all he's going to bring in. And then Tron's going to bring in 3 Veil of Summer. Makes this stuff uncounterable. And yeah, just those 3. The rest are for Karn to go get. Alright, game number 2. Dude, his sleeves are dirty as fuck, bro. You need to, like, buy some new sleeves or something. Look how curled the tops are too. Those are some worn sleeves. All right, Stony Silence, really good. It's gonna shut down Map and Star and Sphere and Relic of Progenitus, but not Sylvan Scrying. Wait, why didn't he play the mine over the tower? I don't get that. He knew he has a mine in hand, yet he played the tower, which he didn't know about? Okay. Okay, we have Teferi on the board now. Not a huge threat to Tron. Can't bounce their planeswalkers, and they don't play, instants that they're gonna use on their turn, so, or not on their turn rather. Always go after the tower. Do it, buddy. If he had played the mine and he destroyed the mine, he would have had the mine. Although psychologically, you think he would have destroyed the power plant at that point? Maybe. I think as a player, I don't know if I'd go after the mine again. Just because the game before he had the second mine. I don't know. It's kind of like that psychological little play going on. I mean, it's the same odds either way, but as a human being, you might just opt to choose the other land. Alright, Stoneforge Mystic, the namesake of this deck. Getting Batterskull. Let's go. So it looks like Tron is going to find Tron. Next turn he'll have it, 9 mana. Does Stoneblade have counter magic in hand? He better. Oh, Thraggy. Little Thragtusk action. Oh, Emrakul. The Promised End. That's pretty dirty. He's going to get to do some crazy stuff on his turn. Teferi. Actually, he's not going to get to do very much. What am I talking about? Teferi can only bounce creatures. Creatures, artifacts, and enchantments. Alright, maybe we can bounce the Stony Silence. An enigma as vexing as life itself. Bounce that Stony Silence. Probably play the Stony Silence and counter it. Make him attack with both. He could have mana leaked it and then opted and made him get a bad card with opt. I don't know. Actually, opt. Making him force him to cast on the next turn is better, yeah. Sort of feast and famine. Alright, now he gets his turn. If it went back to the opponent after that, it would be so brokenly good. I think you're just dead here, bro. That's a 13/13 flying creature that you probably have only like a couple paths left in the deck after sideboard. He's going to take him off Tron, but I think the damage is already done. Oh, he's going to bounce Emrakul. I mean, you have to bounce Emrakul. Oh, he's bouncing Thragtusk. What? He gets a 3/3 token for that, doesn't he? What the fuck was the point of that? Okay, I think he just fully, like, misplayed there on that. I got totally punched. I mean, he's dead. He's probably, like, 99.9% dead anyways, but that was definitely not the right play. Bouncing Thragtusk, what? That's like the thing you never do. Dude, Kyle, stop stalling, bro. Alright, he's countering the Sylvan Scrying via Force of Negation, but I don't think it matters. Yeah, GG. Again, straight up control has a hard time with. Oh wait, I want to see Sam Black's deck. Where's it? Into the Story. So good. Where's the fucking deck list, bro? Okay, here. Okay, it's got one Torrential Gearhulk. Boom! These are the 5 win conditions right here. Dude, 2 Pulse of Marasa. Dude, Drown in the Lock is super good. Card's busted. Dude has 3 Into the Stories. Let's go. Only 1 Force of Negation. I think I'm going to drop down to 2 Force of Negations in my Breach Moon deck. I think 3 is too many. Go back to 3 Snapcasters. I think I'm only playing 2 Snapcasters. And then he's got Oko and Plague Engineer that are also win conditions in the sideboard. Yeah, this is super dirtle. The dirtily. But I'm glad it has at least a Torrential Gearhulk. It has like another way to win. Alright, round 6. Let's go. What do we got? Let's see like a Jund deck or something. Jund Shadow, not the kind of Jund deck I meant, but still a Jund deck, I guess. Alright, here we go. We have Wraith into Peatland. Peatland. Oh, this is the Ascendancy version. Okay, this one's the one that plays Jeskai Ascendancy. So here's yet a 4th version of this artifact deck. Using Urza and Jeskai Ascendancy. Again, using the same 24 cards that all 4 of these decks are using. The only difference here is this one plays Jeskai Ascendancy. Yes, the Tarfire. This is like the original Jund Death Shadow. This is like when Death Shadow deck first came around. It was this Jund version that played like Tarfires, so it could have like the insanely big Tarmogoyfs that were like 7/8 and shit. For the because you get a tribal spell in the graveyard, it counts as another card type. So yes, I've seen 7/8 Tarmogoyfs before. He's only got 1 land. That's bad. Like, Emery would be good even if she didn't cost 1 to put out. You know, even if she didn't have the cost 1 less for each artifact, she'd still be bustedly good. Like, the decks would still play her. Yeah, he's just going to scoop him up. GG. Let's go to sideboard. Alright, so Death Shadow's going to bring in what? Is Collective Brutality actually worth here? Nah, I don't think so. Plague Engineer's going to come in. Collector Ophi's going to come in, which shuts off artifact activated abilities. Probably Kolagon's, even though Kolagon's command's not that good, it kills an artifact. Okay, like they don't care about really any of their artifacts that much. So I don't even know if Kolagon's is gonna come in. Well, probably because he needs to take out cards, but actually, straight up Fatal Push is just better in this matchup than Kolagon's command. Just able to kill Psy. God damn it, dude! Why is it? Okay, we gotta pause it. Fulminator Mage is garbage. Yeah, just Plague Engineer. Ophi. I guess he needs to cut Lightning Bolt, so Liliana of the Veil and Kolagon's command come in? Okay, I can get behind that. And then Urza's going to bring in what? 3 Oko seem good. And then Teferi is kind of irrelevant. He's not playing. Galvanic Blast will not kill his will not kill any of his threats really, so that's kind of useless. So maybe just 3 Okos. Maybe Mystical Dispute, just so he has some counter magic. I think maybe just the 3 Okos come in. Alright, game number 2. We got turn 1 Bobble and do turn 1 Astrolab Bobble. Collector Ophi, okay. Hopefully this guy does some heavy lifting. I'm surprised he's only playing 1 Collector Ophi in the sideboard. I'd be playing like 2 or 3 of these bad boys. Alright, Collector Ophi's getting in there, laying the beat down, as well as the lockdown. Alright, Emery for 1 mana. Mill 4. Alright, can't use Mox Amber. Can't use Astrolabe. Can still use Emery, though. Emery is not an artifact. Alright, he's gonna Thoughtseize. He's a lefty. I mean, he takes Oko here, right? Oko or Outcome. He's got Ascendancy too. There's a lot of things, but he can't play the Ascendancy, so I think he's taking Oko, or maybe Engineered Explosives he takes actually, so he can keep Ophi on the board. I mean, he's stuck on 2 mana, so... Or he's going to take Oko. Alright. I guess he's going to bet on him playing Engineered Explosives on 2. And then he Kolagons commands it. Seems like a solid plan. He did just draw a land though, so he's got 3 lands. Yeah, or maybe he's just going to play Jeskai Ascendancy here. Alright, throwing out the Ascendancy. Alright, he's going to kill Embry and the Mox Amber in response to him casting Ascendancy. So basically, this combo, Emery just keeps tapping to bring a 0 cost back. So Urza's Bobble, he can just keep bringing Urza's Bobble back, sacking it infinitely. Makes it an infinitely big creature. Swings in for the win. Wait. Did he just win? What the hell creature was that? Traverse the Ovenwald. Oh, Gore-Clan Rampager. He gave it +4/+4 and Teamer Battle Raged it for 12 damage. Nice. Nice. I like it. Alright, game 3. Hell yeah. Let's go. John has something to say, motherfucker. What do you got? Alright, wishing well. That's all on turn 1, by the way. That's ridiculous. EE on 0, Opal. Opal plays fucking Emery for 1 mana. Absurd. Ban Opal. Ban Opal. It actually might get banned here in 2 weeks. Or a week or whatever it is. 2 weeks, yeah. So he thought seized Oko out of his hand. Ophi, there he is. Oh, no longer a way to make red mana, bro. No Goblin Tinker for you. Or Goblin Engineer, rather. Putting E on 1. Okay. Mr. Tarmogoyf. What is he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom. Oh, Galvanic Blast, the Ophi. The Ophi is done, son. Is this where Death Shadow loses? Quite possibly. Ooh, it's a 6/7 now, though. It's a beefy Tarmogoyf. Beef. What are you doing, bro? Why didn't he put that Engineered Explosives on 2? I like really don't understand that play that he put it on 1. Like that makes no sense to me. Was he just expecting him to play Death Shadow or something? Like I don't get that. He could have put it on 2, and he would have been able to kill that Tarmogoyf now. Or the Ophi. The Ophi was on the table. Like. Yeah, he's at 4 life. You can just Galvanic Blast him in the face now. But I think it was necessary that he kill that creature. He's got nothing now. He's got absolute dirtily nothing. So if he draws like a land here, is he just dead? No, I think he's got 2 turns. I don't think he has a Temur Battle Rage in hand. If he has a Temur Battle Rage in hand, he's got 1 draw or he's dead. Oh wait, he gets a 2nd draw off the Bauble. Or is this Bauble? I think that's an Ascendancy in his hand. Is that going to actually do anything, though? Draw 2. I think he was hoping for an opal there, or something that he could play Ascendancy with. Or no, he wanted an Emery actually. He could have slapped down an Emery there. Dude, don't you wish you kept your lightning bolts in the deck? Alright, he's got 2 lethal threats. What do you got? What do you got, bruh? What you got, bruh? Bruh. You got, bruh. Alright, he's gonna pop the engineered explosives on 1, killing the Death Shadow. And this is just Jeskai Ascendancy, I assume. Oh, that's Saheeli. Alright, he's gonna get a servo. That is a chump blocker for Mr. Goyf over there. He's got an Astrolab in hand as his last card, which is going to yield him another servo. This is a close one. Oh, Plague Engineer, boom! Just tosses it down like it ain't no thang. Kill all your servos. Let's go, dude. Let's go. Go, Jund. Hell yeah, brah. Wait, what the fuck? Alright, Urza Ascendancy. Selesnya Eldrazi. Boom, baby. Is this the one that plays Karn? Who they're playing Once Upon a Time also. Very nice. Very nice. I like it. Okay, who won that game? It's like Reality Smasher. Oh, Chalice of the Void on 0. Get fucking wrecked. Oh, yeah. Chalice of the Void. That plays. That plays against these Urza Ascendancy decks. And, like, the, few of the versions of them. Alright, round 7. Boom. Urza Ascendancy versus Burn. It's the Baditch. The Baditch. Well, that's turn 1. Bauble, Opal, Amber. No, Bauble, Opal, Emery. Wait. Yeah, Bauble, Opal, Emery. Wait, how the fuck did he play Emery? Oh, it costs 2 less, yeah, duh. Dude, she's so easy to play. Oh my god. Alright, so she plays Nicodle. Oh, she's playing 3-color Burn with Nicodle. Nice. I like it. This is what Burn was for a long time, like a year ago or a year and a half ago. Like, pretty much all Burn was playing Atarka's commands and Nicodles and shit. Maybe it was like a year and a half, 2 years ago, something like that. Probably because Atarka's... Eh. Alright, Searing Blaze, 3 to Emery, 3 to your face. You see Sam Black's pensive face in the background there. Playing the Mystic Dirtle deck. Eidolon. Always good. Yeah, Burn might be the best deck in the meta right now. Just because Eidolon is so good against all these decks. Boom. Get burned, bro. Get fucking burned. Alright, what do we got? Urza Ascendancy gonna bring in what? 3 Oko? Sure. 2 Galvanic Blasts? Yes, What else? Anything else? 1 Path? Yeah. I think just those 6, right? Mm-hmm. And then Barrich is going to bring... Oh, Cinder Vines. That's why Barrich is playing. Three-color burn. Cinder Vines also a great card in this meta. So 3 Cinder Vines are going to come in. Are the Path to Exiles going to come in? Yeah, probably. Because he's playing... I mean, it'll kill Emery and it'll kill Sai, so... Path to Exile is probably coming in. And 3 Smash to Smithereens. Sure. Goyf, Searing Blood, Skullcrack. I don't know how good those are. Searing Blood only kills Emery, so that's probably not coming in. Skullcrack, there's not a lot of life gain going on. I guess with Oko, but I think just those 9 cards are just better. Alright, here we go, game 2. Okay, we have Nakatl into... Okay, so he went EE. He went EE on 1, turn 1. Yep, and then she went Nakatl, and he went go. Pop EE, kill Nakatl. Into Cinder Vines. Seems good. Yeah, let me read that real quick. Does that do what I think it does? Yeah. Cinder Vines might be the card and Eidolon. So she's packing 7 Silver Bullet cards for these decks. Seems good. Take that damage. Take it and like it. Although Cinder Vines is not as good as Eidolon. I'd rather be doing the 2 damage versus having the, you know, secondary effect of destroying an artifact or enchantment and dealing 2 damage. Alright, she's got a Tarkus command. And some 2 other cards I can't see. Oh, a fetch land and something else. Not a great hand. Maybe enough to get there. He can still pop off through Cinder Vines, that's the thing. Eidolon completely like halts you from popping off. You do so much damage to yourself. 1 damage per spell is a little bit more manageable. Gobble Guide. The chump block. Okay, so she smashed to smithereens the Astrolab. I guess that shuts off his red mana. But all he has to do is get one more artifact and he can produce red with the Mox Opal again. Yeah, she's not in a good spot. He's got Oko in play now. He's making food tokens, gaining life. Yeah, this is not a good spot. I think she's gonna have to use Cindervines in response, maybe. And kill the Opal, maybe? Yeah. Oh, she's not. Okay. This is a tough one because you gotta, like, mitigate. I mean, how much damage can he do to himself? Okay, he's just gonna... I guess Cindervines, it's good to just keep it in play, right? I mean, she's got a Tarkus command in hand, so she's got 3. If he tries to pop that food, she's going to negate the healing and deal 3 damage to face, so... Maybe she's got this one. She's got a plan. Maybe she's got it. I don't know what the other card in her hand is. But if it's a burn spell, I think she's got it. 100%. Oh, kill the food, deal 2 damage. Okay, he's going to chump block the Goblin Guide. I'm confused why he chose not to sacrifice the food token in response to her killing it. He can produce a blue and one of any color, right? Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know. Yeah, might as well fire off the Atarkus command. I mean, what is he going to play with 1 blue mana? She's got this, right? I guess he could have Dispel. I guess she's thinking he could have Dispel. I mean, he still could have had a Dispel there. There was no reason for her to... I mean, I guess she was just seeing if he was going to tap out for it. I guess that's all around a better choice. But it also gave him more draws to get a Dispel, so I don't know. I mean, I don't think he was playing a Dispel in any of his 75, but still. Oh, look. Kethis, Sultai, Warza. Warza. Alright, round 8. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Burn versus Amulet Titan, both 7-0. Okay, let's see it. Ooh, he's got the awesome Halloween sleeves. I need to buy those sleeves. Those are cool. Set those aside. I really like those sleeves. Alright, Sakura Tribe. Scout? No. Yes, Scout. That is the Scout. Eidolon. Lava Spike into Eidolon. Eidolon's pretty good against Titan, is it? Yeah, they got a lot of low cost spells, for sure. It's at least going to do like 2 to 4 damage. On average, I'm guessing. It also hits their, yeah, it hits their Ancient Stirring, Summoner's Pact, Once Upon a Time, yeah. All their creatures, except for Titan, yeah. Eidolon's good. Eidolon's so good right now. Maybe I should just make Burn. Maybe I should just play Burn. I mean, now's like probably the time that Burn's been its best for like years. Because you got the Canopy lands too. So Burn's kind of at its strongest ever right now, I feel like. Not to mention being meta. Yeah, he just took 4 damage from Eidolon. Played an Amulet. Although if he doesn't kill the Scout, he could have Titan on his next turn. Turn 3 Titan. All he has to have in his hand right now are 2 bounce lands and a Titan. Or 2 bounce lands and a Summoner's Pact. Okay, so Tulare West to go get a Summoner's Pact. No doubt he has another bounce line in his hand, so he can play Titan next turn. Is it going to be enough, though? He's going to go down to 5 here. Bolt, and yep. GG. Mr. Sideboard. Alright. Burns going to bring in what? 2 Path to Exile, 4 Smash to Smithereens. Actually, Skullcrack's good in this matchup too because Amulet Titan has the lands that gain them 2 life. So I think the 4 Skullcracks come in. 4 Skullcrack, 2 Path. Maybe just like 2 Smash to Smithereens. I don't know. Smash to Smithereens only targets their amulet, so if they don't even get an amulet, then it's a dead card. So maybe just a couple Smash to Smithereens. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I'm leaning towards not boarding them in for just 4 artifacts, but it might be the right decision to bring them in. I don't know what cards are kind of dead in this matchup. It feels like the only cards they want to cut are like maybe Searing Blaze. But Eidolon seems good. Everything seems good. That's main deck, except for maybe Searing Blaze. And then Amulet Titan's going to bring in 2 Obstinate Baloths. Probably an Engineered Explosives. Maybe just 1. Field of the Dead actually feels good in this matchup. Yeah, probably just that. Just those 4 cards-ish. I mean, they're not terrible against Burn. Alright, Once Upon a Time. Let's go. Once Upon a Time. Gonna get a Simic Growth Chamber. Oh, yeah, Ancient Stirrings, too. You grab 2 lads? Bro, you just got hooked up. He's got Gobble Guide hooked up. Yep, he brought in the Fields of the Dead. Well, now he's got 1,000,000 lands in hand. Doesn't need all those Simic Growth Chambers, apparently. 2 is enough. Alright, we got a pretty fast burn start. Gobbo into Swift Spear into Skewer. Alright, so he brought in at least 1 Engineered Explosives. It's going to end up being good here. Save him a lot of life. 2 for 1. Yeah, he's just going to pop it. He's not going to let him get a free land off of it, possibly, but he doesn't want to take any more damage, period, so it was a good play that he would just attack with the Swift Spear here. Yeah, the EE might have been the difference between a win and a loss for Titan here. Because he's got 2 burn spells left. It's just 6 damage. He's got to do 6 more. There's Azusa. Alright, he's going to crack his canopy land. Oh, he kept Searing Blaze in. Okay. I mean, it does hit Scout and Azusa, which is probably like 7 targets, but maybe he opted to board out something else instead. Alright, here comes Titan. Prime time. Okay, he doesn't have an amulet in play, so this is not going to be... Oh yeah, he's just going to get 2 Radiant Fountains here. Gain 4 life. Or Vesuva Radiant Fountain. No, he's not getting Vesuva. Is he not playing Vesuva in here? Alright. Wasn't that a bounce land? Why is... Did he not bounce a land? Am I an idiot? Did he pick up another land? Or maybe that's a shock land. Maybe that's not the bounce land. That's the new shock land, maybe. Which I'm assuming he got for so he could have 7 different land types for the Field of the Dead. Alright, Skullcrack's going to negate the Obstinate Baloth live gain. That's essential here. But I think he's just got this. Burn can't do enough damage through the life gain. Alright, he's gonna get 2 zombies now. Yeah, this is over, right? He's gonna gain 2 more life. Oh, wait, no, he can't. Skullcrack means he can't gain life the rest of the turn. Alright, if he has... Okay, if he draws exactly Boros Charm here, he wins. Is it a Boros Charm? Eidolon. That's not gonna do it, right? Will it give him 1 more turn? He's only gonna take 10. No, he's gonna give it +2. Yeah, that's game. Alright, game number 3. What? Alright, turn 1. Goblin Guide. Reveals Scout. Go. Alright, he's gonna skewer the Scout. Good call. Suspend a Rift Bolt. Okay. Ideal start for burn here. Goblin Guide turn 1 is always the best start for burn. We got Amulet online though. Do we have a game here? Alright, shoot him in the face. Go to 13. Goblin Guy's gonna put him to 11. Looks like he's got land. Ooh, Swifty. That's a good one. Boros Charm. Gross. Yeah, I think Burns got this one. He has to have engineered explosives here, like exactly engineered explosives, or I think he loses. Like even if he gains 2 life, like if he has any burn spell on his turn, it's over. And then he's got a redraw with the Canopy land too, so. He's got Azusa. Okay, Azusa's a blocker. He needs a Colony Garden. That would be good. Little chump blocker. Little 0/1 plant token. He's gonna copy the canopy land. Okay. Alright, he needs to blank like both these draws for Titan to have a chance. Alright, he's going top. Burn had it. Did he have Titan in hand? No, I don't think he had Titan in hand. Alright, GG's. Mystic Sultai. Sam Black is 6-1. Gross. Dude, look at him go. 2-0, baby. He's 7-1 with his dirtily mess. Dirtily mess. Alright, let's see this round number 9. Number 9. John Death Shadow versus Burn. Okay, this is a really cool matchup. I love Burn versus Death Shadow. This is a very, very player-influenced match. This is a skill-based matchup. This is very skill-based. Alright, we got Goblin Guide. Because the Burn player has to be careful not to put their life total so low that the Death Shadow can just kill them in one hit. So they like often try to like get their life to where they can kill them in one turn. From like 7 to 0 or something. Because 7's kind of like the number that Jun will kind of hang out at mid-game. They won't go below that number, so it won't be easy for the Burn player because they have to like pretty much 3-spell him to kill him at that point. 2-spell him if it's Boros Charm and like, you know, Lightning Bolt, but yeah, this is a very cool matchup. Alright, we got Swiftspear. He's only got one land though, so I mean, Goblin Guide Swiftspear is a very strong start, but he needs to draw another land. Ooh, Goyf, Roadblock. Although I guess it's only a 2-3 Goyf. But the second he plays a burn spell, it becomes a 3-4 Goyf, so there's that. I already found a land. It's a fast land. Alright, he's just going to play Eidolon. He's not going to trade any creatures. Going to bide his time. This is where the mind games come in. This is where play skill comes in. Because he doesn't want to knock him below 13 right now. Should he have a Death Shadow in hand? He's going to try to maneuver it so he can kill him in one turn. From, like, you know, 8 to 10 life. Or 7 to 10-ish. Because the Death Shadow player is not going to harm his own life total below 7. That's just the stopping point. Unless they know they're going to win the game. Alright, so he's going to play Death Shadow. Take 2 off the Eidolon trigger, so the Death Shadow's a 2-2. He's going to swing in for 2. Yeah, he's just going to take the 2 here. Alright, so he just took 5 from the Tarmogoyf. That Tarmogoyf just grew 3 points because Eidolon's an enchantment also, as well as a creature, and Fatal Push is an instant, so it jumped from a 2-3 to a 5-6. That was a good play. That was a really good play. So now he's at a healthy 9 life total. The Death Shadow is a 4-4, which makes it unkillable with 1 burn spell. That was a very good play. And he put pressure on burn by knocking 5 off his life total, taking him down to 12. So now he's definitely within kill range. Okay, so he's going to suspend 2 Rift Bolts. So basically, the Death Shadow player has to win this turn. Or he's going to take 9 points of burn to the face. And Rift Bolts are really good in this matchup because they don't immediately do the damage. So they're ideal. So yeah, even if he thought seizes him here, he's still dead. Yeah, he needed a Temur Battle Rage to win from here, I believe. Like, he needs like a fetch land into a Temur Battle Rage. Or like a shock land into Temur Battle Rage. I mean, you put 1 on each, right? I mean, if he has Temur Battle Rage, he wins no matter... Oh, he has Gore-Clan Rampager. I forgot about that. That gives trample. So that's 9, 13. He takes 11. That's exactly 11. Okay, he got it. Exactsies. Wow. That's these games, man. These matchups are so close usually. They're always within like a few life points. They both played perfectly. I didn't see any flaw to either of their plays. They both were set up to win as fast as they could without giving anything to the opponent. Okay, sideboard. Jun's going to bring in 4 Collective Brutality just so he can control his life total more. What else? I think that's it. And then Burn's going to bring in 2 Path to Exile, 2 Grim Lavamancer. Lavamancer sets it up so you can do more damage in 1 turn, so I think those 4 come in. Deflecting Palm is perfect in this matchup, but he's not playing him sideboard. That's like the best card to have against Death Shadow as a burn player. Yeah, Skullcrack, I don't know if he expects Collective Brutality, maybe. But I think Skullcrack's just not a very good card in this matchup. So yeah, I think just 2 Path, 2 Grim Lavamancer is the way to go. Alright, here we go. Game number 2. In the easy. Farcheezy. Alright, Rift Bolt. Not a great start. Does he have all burn in his hand? Oh, he molded. Did he mold a 6? No, he didn't mold a 6. Oh, he did bring in Skull Cracks. Okay. It's a little odd to me, but okay. Maybe he knows this matchup better than I do. I guess the surprise factor on a Skull Crack can end up winning you a game if he thinks he's going to gain 2 life. Yeah, he takes the Eidolon. Good call. Eidolon's kind of one of those cards that's hard to control. You kind of sometimes get to the point where you get screwed by it, even though through no mistake of your own, you're just like, oh, well, in this situation, if I take 2 more damage, I lose, or I have a chance of losing. So he's keeping control of like his life total. Oh, he's got a real good hand. Is that 2 Death Shadows? I think he has 2 Death Shadows and an Assassin's Trophy and like 2 land. Alright, he's unloading the burn. Okay. This is actually going to end up helping the Death Shadow player because he's got Death Shadow in hand. And he doesn't have a lot of ways to get below 13 life, so... Alright, he's got a path. He just picked up a path. That was a good draw. Alright, he's going to do a damage to himself with the Peatland just to do a damage to himself. Now he's going to go to 10. Now he's going to play Death Shadow. 2 Death Shadow. And he's at that magical make it a 4/4, so... I mean, he has to path one of these. Okay, I don't think he saw that coming. I think he just misplayed there, unfortunately. Yeah, he totally misplayed that, unfortunately. Jebaited hard. Yeah, I don't think the burn player has been playing this second game very well. He should have just been firing off random burn spells. There's no reason to do that until he has a threat. Like, you can just sit back and just draw and just build up your hand, play some lands, you know. You don't have to rush it, because the Death Shadow player is going to do damage to themselves if he has a Death Shadow, and he did have 2 Death Shadows, so yeah, it was totally a misplay. I am McLovin. Nice. I totally was like, what does your name say? Oh, I am McLovin. Yes. McLovin! Alright, so he's got him into 6. But see, here's the problem that Burn has. All his damage is just making the Death Shadow bigger, so the Death Shadow is now a 7/7. But the Burn player has 0 cards in hand. Yeah, so the Death Shadow player is not even going to attack because he risks the chance of losing on the spot. I think you just play your land, play the Swift Spear, and pass. There's no reason to not play the land right now. I mean, if you're trying to like bait like a hand destruction or something like that. But he needs the mana to 2 spell if he can. Alright, valuable information. He's looking at his top card. If it's a burn spell, it's going to affect his decision making here. Also, he can Assassin's Trophy, and if it's something good, it'll make him shuffle it away. Okay, now he can he traverse yet? No, he still can't traverse. He's got Artifact, Sorcery Land. He needs 1 more for Delirium. Alright, so he's just going to take the damage. Okay. Does he just win here on the spot? Fetch Shock. Oh, no, he's just fetching down to 5. Okay. He's going to do 8 damage, put him to 8. Well, he knows what his top card is. It's probably a land. It's a Swifty. Oh, Kolaghan's Command. Kill it and make you discard. Seems good. Wait. Oh yeah, he doesn't have a redraw. Yeah, he had Traverse, so he was GG. Yeah, I think the Burn player misplayed that last game. The first game, it wasn't. I mean, he played it correctly in the first game, but game 2, he definitely misplayed. He shouldn't have obviously bolted that Death Shadow when he had a Peatland untapped. Yeah. But hey, that is it, everyone. We've come to the end of day 1 of Star City Games Modern Open Indianapolis. Thank you for watching. This video is going to go up on my YouTube channel, where you can watch it there in scathing HD, 1080p, 12,000 bitrate. Well, it's not going to go above the bitrate that they're broadcasting it, but it'll be basically like watching it. You can also watch it on my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/lock_daddy. Follow me on Twitter, which is lock_daddy1 for updates on my streams and whatnot and what's going on in my life. And yeah, we'll catch you tomorrow for day number 2. See you there.